Hello and welcome. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I never know how to open up these things.
I don't know that there is a way to open. I mean, I think the appropriate polite thing is to say hello.
Okay. I wasn't quite sure.
I don't think there's a mechanism to this.
Right. I don't know. Are we supposed to have some type of today's podcast is brought to you by? Is that what you're supposed to? I don't know.
Who the hell's going to sponsor this?
Yeah, I wouldn't, and I'm on it, for Christ's sake. So it is the Mike and Molson.
Midwest family doesn't even know this exists.
No, they don't. They're
much
like,
less somebody's going to sell it.
They're like...
Hey, if you'd like to sponsor us,
yes, please.
If you own a business and have money you don't need,
contact.
Boy, will we do a good commercial for you.
Yes, we will. If you want to reach 5 very particular people, please reach out to us. Mike at WMAY.com. Yes, and then our parents. So anyway, it's the Mike and Molson Too Good for Radio podcast. I'm Mike Winmacher.
Hey.
He's Johnny Molson. And we begin this particular episode. I shared a photo on Facebook this past weekend it was one of those things of when you saw it, you couldn't believe it. So I needed photographic proof of it. Mm-hmm. And so we need to discuss. It was an individual who was driving through the streets of Springfield. Right. And we know how you feel about bumper stickers and stickers in general on your car. I'm ambivalent to it. I really don't one way or the other. I used to have them. I don't as much anymore. But this particular one was giant letters. Mm-hmm. Just, you could not miss them. And it said, I eat ass, #send nudes, was what it said on the back window of this particular automobile SUV.
Okay.
All right. And so I thought to myself, what would possess someone to promote that particular thing?
I guess I looked at it from 2 different angles. I mean, first of all, obviously the vulgarity of it is just, there's kids and nuns,
right?
And God knows who else driving around. It's not like it's a joke in your locker room or something. So that's one aspect of it.
Right.
But the other thing, and this is my deal with bumper stickers or personalized license plates or anything, is that might have been funny the first time that man and or woman, but probably man.
Yeah, I don't see it being a woman. It was a dude, by the way.
I'm sure that was funny the first time he put it on the back. He looked at it and went, ha ha! But then on Tuesday, was it still funny? And is it still funny 6 months later? Is it still...
And what are you attempting to do with it, right? I mean, you're promoting...
What message are you sending?
You're promoting something, correct? So here's the other take I had was like, okay, to your point, I think you're onto something. The first time you put it on there, you're like, I'm a rebel. Look at that. Yeah. I am telling everyone I eat ass, #send nudes. That's hilarious. People are gonna turn heads all around. But at what point does it end up being, oh, now I'm turning heads that I don't want to turn? Right. And what did he attempt to accomplish? Right.
I mean, it's not hilarious, but let's just assume in this, poor sad sack's life that's the pinnacle of comedy. I mean, that is. But is he promoting like Mark Twain for him?
But is he promoting? But is he promoting it just to be funny? Was he promoting it to try to get the ladies?
Maybe he doesn't think it's funny. Maybe that was a legit ad.
And then in that ad, in that end, then pardon the pun, with the I eat ass thing. What was the accomplishment? Was it like, this is going to get me a woman that understands me? Was it truth in advertising? Was it what was the overall goal? Or did he ever? Because it wasn't set like #send nudes to at anything. It was just #send nudes. So did he hope to accomplish like a Craigslist misconnections with that? Or
I don't think we're being fair in assuming that he was trying to do it to attract women.
True. Very true. I didn't think about that. Could be anybody. Right. You're right. I apologize.
I only say that because this knuckle dragger would be very offended at the implication that he's gay, but I'm assuming he's gay.
There you go. Yeah. And let me,
because of that.
And then if the minuscule amount of chance that someone sees that and goes, hey, that's my type of person.
Mm-hmm. Why, and I have an ass.
And I would like to be
What
eaten.
A coincidence.
Exactly. Boy, we should get together. don't you immediately then have to hold the person to that standard?
Yes.
Would you not be disappointed if you get in that situation with the I eat ass guy and he, in fact, goes, not my biggest thing I like to do? Then why are you advertising it?
I think you're onto something. I think I would have pulled around to the driver's side, rolled down the window, and said, "Pull over, pull over." It's me.
I gotta test this.
I'm the one.
I'm the one.
This is my ass. You're the one. Let's go.
There's pull over to the Motel 6 right down the street here.
Parking lot.
Parking lot, Shamrock Hotel there on Dirksen. Just go right. That has hourly rates, I'm sure. Yeah. And be like, hey, meet me there to see. Because if you're that boisterous about it, you should have follow-up.
Well, and the big error was he really didn't give any location as to where to send the nudes.
Correct.
If he
that was the problem.
Nudes so badly, there really
and
was
what
no
type
way
of
to
nudes does he want?
Nudes.
Just if you preface it with "I eat ass" #send nudes, there's a particular nude you want sent, right?
I think I would have sent him a picture of Michelangelo's David or something.
Well, it's so funny you mentioned that because when I posted on Facebook, my brother-in-law says, "Well, did you send nudes? Didn't have to be yours."
That's right.
So yes. Long story short, if you're going to put something on your car, make sure it's something that may be funny for a very long time and not just the first time.
Was Spencer's out of truck nuts and he couldn't find any? Is that why he had to put that on the back of his car?
Because that was a question I was asked by people too. Would it be accompanied by truck nuts? No truck nuts. Just the straight up I eat ass.
And you wonder how that person holds down a job to afford a vehicle.
Well, can you imagine pulling up to the job site?
Right.
The first day on a new job.
You think he works at the bank or something?
Yeah. So right. You're going in for a loan, right? And you're sitting there in the parking lot, and I eat ass pulls into the parking lot, and then that's the guy you end up having to try to get a loan from.
Yeah, sorry I'm late for the job interview. I had to get the oil changed in my truck. It's the one right over there.
The one that says, I eat ass?
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, pulling into wherever and having even a simple oil change. Mm-hmm. Be like, the I eat ass guy is here for his oil change.
Yeah.
Get that in and out as quick as possible.
It makes me sad when that's the pinnacle of humor for people.
Yeah. You were international last week up in Canada. And apparently you came across a situation that is a listener's court quality
thing. It's a listener's court, and help me if I'm overreacting, because I'm still in the middle of it. So this is an ongoing saga.
Oh, wow.
And here's what happened.
Okay.
I needed a ride, so I open up one of the popular ride service apps.
Right.
Uber.
Lyft?
No, it was Uber.
Okay, you open up Uber. So you got your Uber in Canada. I didn't know Canada had Uber.
No, I was here.
In the U.S. Yeah. Okay.
And it was at the beginning of my trip. Actually, I just needed a ride to the train station. I was going to leave my car at my house.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you were here in town.
And that becomes relevant here in a second.
Okay.
So guy picks me up, takes me to the train station, drops me off. Thank you. As soon as the ride is over, Uber sends a ping that says, please rate your driver. 5 stars. Guy was on it. He was on it. Perfect guy. Nice. Helped me with my luggage. Whole thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then the next thing is, and would you like to add a gratuity? Well, of course I would like to add a gratuity.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Push the button. And a little thing comes up and says, sorry, something went wrong. Try again.
Okay. You're like,
boom. Doesn't work. All right. Well, I'll try it a little later. Get to Chicago. Get another Uber to go to the hotel. Arrive, 5 stars, gratuity, goes through, boom. And I go, oh, yeah, there was that guy in Springfield.
Yeah.
I never was able to tip him, so let me try again. Something went wrong. Please try again later.
Okay.
Maybe I should try it on the website. So I log on to Uber.com and log into my account. There's the ride. There's the guy. Click. Sorry, having trouble with your payment.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
And so, I mean, I even put in a different credit card, the whole deal, still not working.
Interesting.
Next morning, Uber to the airport, pay the guy, give him a tip. Goes through fine. So, oh, yeah, there was that first guy.
That guy from Springfield.
So I try again. Something went wrong. Sorry. Something went wrong. Sorry.
I think I know where this is going.
So now I get on Uber's website and do the... By the way, Uber does not have a phone. You cannot
call Uber. You only can do like a live chat or something?
Exactly. There is a phone number, and the phone number says, this phone number doesn't work. Please go to our website. Not making that up.
Sorry. Thanks for calling Uber. We don't have a phone.
So I go to the online chat, and I get this canned response saying, I'm sorry you're having trouble, but here are the steps to give someone a tip. Oh, God. And, of course,
it's the same thing you've been doing.
Yeah, exact same thing I've been doing. And, of course, it's in this really elementary. It's like, first, open your Uber app. Next, go to past trips.
You're like...
Then click on, it's like, and I know all this.
You're not like an old person trying to figure out a DVR.
So I did that. I said, I did that. Not working. Well, I want to tip this guy.
Yeah. So I don't want to be rated badly in Springfield because that's where I live.
And they said, alternatively, you can go to the website. I've tried that. Can't go to the website. Then again, they're always trying to put it on me, saying, well, maybe you just haven't updated your app. So uninstall the app and reinstall the app. And go through these steps again. I say, it's not me. It's you.
Yeah.
And at one point,
trust me, I've had these conversations before with people. It's not me. It's you.
And one point in the chat, they actually had the nerve to say, or you can just give the person cash. I said, I can't give. It's now. We're now 48 hours separated from this.
I can't just call this guy back up and go, here you go.
Even while I'm out of the country, I'm still logging onto the app, sending notes saying, still not working. What do we do here?
Meanwhile, your rep in Springfield as a rated passenger is tanking because you didn't tip that guy who helped with your luggage.
Right. And so here's where we are now.
Okay.
I get a note from Uber saying we have escalated this to a higher level, and we will get back to you. And a couple days go by. Haven't heard from you guys. I want to give this man a tip.
Exactly. I don't want that out there. I don't want people promoting Johnny Molson stiffs people.
Thank you. Please hang on. We're going to, and they said, we tried to call you, but we're unable to get through. It's like, the phone rang once. I picked it up. There was nobody there. You didn't call me or whatever the deal was.
You don't have a phone, you lying SOBs.
And then they gave me a phone number that said, I'm at that point.
Okay.
But they're telling me that it has been escalated, which sounds very impressive.
It does, yes. We've escalated this to the utmost of importance.
Now, here's the thing. If I gave him a 50% tip, it would still be just like $4. We're not talking a lot of money here.
True.
But the principle of the thing is I tip.
Yes, I do.
I leave tips.
You're smart. You're a nice gentleman.
And now it's not even a matter of the money. I am now mad because I am not able to do the thing that I do. I am a tipping person.
Yes.
And I'm at the point now where I'm going to just start ordering rides in Springfield until I get that guy again.
When the guy should change of plans, just going to move down the block, and here's another tip for this guy.
No, I'm gonna find him, and we're going to drive around Washington Park a couple of times. And I'm going to take a $100 bill out of my pocket, hold it to his throat, and say, listen, I want you to tell everyone in Uber what you just saw here.
To make sure you don't tank my ratings as a passenger.
Right. And then I'm going to lick the $100 bill and just slap it on his forehead.
See, I thought what was going to happen was that every time that you had hit the button, it said, sorry, it was actually going through. So you're going to end up tipping him like 300% on the ride. Which wouldn't have been a bad thing.
No, because it doesn't even get to the point of putting an amount in. Am I completely bananas that I am?
No, I think you're doing the right thing.
I'm losing sleep over this.
I would be too. I'm like you. I am a person that tips. I'm a sucker for a tip jar. I tip even when carry out anymore. Mm-hmm. Like if someone just goes and gets my bag of food, I still give a tip. It's like, well, what do they really do? Well, they moved it from point A to point B. So I'm right there with you. I would be hell bent to make sure that tip went through.
Yeah.
It'd be like same thing would happen on my Starbucks app. Right? I always add a tip there, and if I kept getting a sorry wouldn't go through, I would go through the steps that you're going through.
Yeah. I am absolutely livid right now. I mean, and I recognize that it's disproportionate to the offense, but it's the principle of the thing.
It is, because I was unaware that Uber drivers took cash. The couple times, I'm still very much a taxi cab guy. Mm-hmm. Whenever I'm in Chicago or wherever it would be where I would need a ride, and there you just you use cash. the first time I took an Uber and tried to give them cash, they're like, no, no thanks. We don't, just do it on the app type thing. So, yeah, I didn't realize that cash would have been a thing that you could have done anymore with these cashless transactions.
I wouldn't have even thought to give the guy cash because you always do it through the app.
Right, exactly. And the fact that he helped with your bags, I think you're right on it. So keep us up to date. We'll follow this as we go along.
I do have a phone number at the phone numberless Uber, and I'm ready to give them a call and give them words.
Give them a peace of mind. You want to do that right now here live on the podcast?
I kind of do.
That close to kind of figure it all out.
Yeah, so it has been occupying my brain. We're 2 weeks away from this thing, and I'm still absolutely
you're using brain power that you don't need.
Oh my gosh!
Just to make sure that your rider ranking doesn't tank.
It's stressing me out. I don't even care about the rank. I don't care about the rank.
You're just the principle
of the thing.
Of you're a tipper.
It's not about me.
Exactly. You're not like others
this guy
that we know.
This guy has a sucky job. Gas prices are through the roof.
Right. He helped you with bags.
I want to give him $3.
Is that so hard, Uber? It's just $3 is all Johnny wants to give him.
Jeez.
Speaking of people trying to help out other people, that the situation goes awry. This is a story out of Washington, D.C., where a woman who attended the Pride Parade in D.C. says she felt humiliated after taking too long in a Subway restaurant bathroom.
Okay.
Now, when I first heard that, I was like, you go to Subway, sometimes things happen, and you have some gastrointestinal issues. What's the problem? That was not the issue. Apparently, the woman suffered a, quote, serious wardrobe malfunction that exposed her from her crotch to her breasts.
What was she wearing? Like a bathing suit or something?
Apparently, it was a denim one-piece. So that's what she was wearing, like a strapless denim jumpsuit.
Okay.
Is what this woman had wearing. In a panic, she said she ran into a nearby Subway sandwich shop and explained her situation, asking to use the bathroom in order to fix her strapless denim jumpsuit. Which, okay, maybe you need to know your fit a little better,
right,
before you start going to the Pride thing and rip something from crotch to boob. So the workers allowed her to use the bathroom, but then called 911 less than 5 minutes later. So she comes in, breasts and boobs all exposed, like trying to cover up, like running in, like, I need it. They're like, sure, go ahead, use
breasts
it.
And boobs were both exposed.
Exactly. Breasts and crotch. It's all four. She was the lady from Total Recall. There was a third one sticking out there. It's crazy. That's why it busted. So as the woman and her friends attempted to cover up, the police began banging on the door as the employees yelled at them to exit the restroom immediately. So... yeah. Get out of there. You've been there for 5 minutes.
Get your crotch and boobs out of here.
Crotch and boobs. She ended up being forced out of the bathroom while her breasts were exposed in a crowded Subway.
Oh.
So she comes out, boobs full of bleh out there for everyone to see, the poor lady. And she's like, hey, I still have boobs out. The police officer realized the severity of the woman's situation and instructed employees to allow her back into the bathroom. Once the police left, the employees allegedly kicked her out of the bathroom again, hanging onto her clothes for dear life. She's like, I'm still not. It was an extreme situation. Now, reps for Subway were aware of the incident and said the workers were concerned for her safety. Subway said, quote, the employees called the police only after they received no response from the guests in the restroom over an extended period of time. What else are you going to say? If they start banging, like, I'm sorry, my crotch and boobs are still like all akimbo here. They said franchise employees became concerned for her safety. The authorities checked on the guest, and after confirming she was safe, they promptly left the restaurant. The guest later left the restaurant on her own, but she says, but I still wasn't, my stuff was still all hanging out.
I'm not sure I fully understand what inspired the initial 911 call.
I guess because so she's in there.
Was she not responding?
Yeah, that's what they said. But in her defense, if your privates and your breasticles are still out there for everyone to see, if you leave that, you have bigger problems than the employees from Subway knocking on the bathroom door. Now, did one of them have to use the restroom maybe? I don't know. But apparently her and her friend were unresponsive because they were focused on trying to get everything back in where it's supposed to be.
I mean, I don't know, man. This went from 0 to 100 in a very short amount of
5 minutes.
time.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I fully understand.
Because in her recollection...
I mean, I'm ready to dial 911 on Uber, which I think is perfectly justified.
I think so, right. I don't know.
I think I need the authorities involved.
If a woman runs in, because the way she regales the story is she runs in, breasts and crotch exposed, like trying to cover up both, right. like she's Eve in those paintings, right, where she's like covering one hand here and across the boobage,
or like she's in a Benny Hill skit.
Yeah, and says, "Hey, I got an extreme wardrobe malfunction. I need to use your bathroom." And they say, "Yeah, go right ahead." Don't you then, if you're the Subway employees, think, well, this is going to take more than a couple of minutes? Right?
Yeah.
You're not just going to bobby pin these things in or safety pin these things in. So less than 5 minutes later, they call the cops, and the cops show up, then start banging on the door. And she then exits with boobs out going, here, this is what I'm in. You're going to have to arrest me for public indecency. I'm still trying to fix this. So there's a lot to this story that we don't know. I feel, to your point, things escalated rather quickly in the situation.
It seems like we just immediately go grab 911. Couldn't they have thrown her a couple of loaves of bread or something and just had her cover up
right? Yeah,
or give her one of those smocks. I bet they had a smock.
Yeah, I'm sure they had an extra smock.
There's probably any number of things they could have done before dialing 911.
Well, they could have jimmied a bikini top from the Subway bags, right?
Of course.
They could have bikini topped that and just kind of put those together, and here you go.
Slap a couple of leaves of lettuce over there.
I didn't even think about that.
Right?
Put a couple leaves of lettuce and some tomatoes there for the.
They got that triangle shaped provolone that they just put down. That could be the bikini bottom.
Right.
There's any number of creative solutions they could have had.
They could have put sprouts together that they could have done there.
Or just go grab a couple of those big Coke cups that they just put them right there.
Like Madonna on the Vogue era, Madonna. Yeah,
I've seen these pride parades in these big cities, and anything goes.
Yeah, right, exactly. There's any number of things. Calling the cops was probably the worst of all those solutions.
Yeah.
So I feel for this lady. I hope she gets more response than you got from Uber about the situation.
I should hope so.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, in the Mike and Molson Too Good for Radio podcast, we have an awkward boner alert with this Dear Prudie. Here we go. And it goes to boobs. A lot of boob talk here.
Okay.
Is
it too late to change the name of the podcast?
No, we still can.
To a lot of boob talk.
Welcome to a lot of boob talk.
Don't forget to download the latest episode of Lot of Boob Talk,
where not only do we talk a lot of boobs, but also the I Eat Ass Man will be our next guest. I should have tried to track him down. I have I cropped the photo. I have the license plate. And I have a friend who works in certain situations that could get me the identity. We can maybe get the I Eat Ass guy and ask him exactly why he has that on the back of his car. But anyway, I don't think it'd be an interesting conversation. So here we go. This is the Dear Prudie that may lead to an awkward boner. It starts. Our niece recently got a boob job. She looks great. The problem is that she always is dressed inappropriately at family gatherings. It's beyond ridiculous. We have to sit across the table from her while she's flaunting her boobs. I mean, her shirts are low cut below her front bra line, and she's way too exposed. She might as well be wearing a bikini top. So inappropriate. Even when visiting her 90-year-old grandfather. My husband is a diagnosed sex addict. I just can't handle this. I find this situation inescapable. We can't attend family gatherings. I dread them now. But no one else seems to care. We were at my husband's 60th birthday dinner last night, and not a single other female in the restaurant was dressed like her. Her mother used to be the same way, but has finally curbed it somewhat due to her older age. She's no longer as big of a concern compared to her daughter.
Wow.
Obviously, the niece learned it from her mother.
Yeah.
The niece has a new boyfriend at every event, practically. We can't keep up with their names. I go out of my way to dress appropriately around the family. I try to set an example. I have large breasts, too, and I'm not jealous. I just have to worry if my husband is looking and feeding her desperateness. It's awful. I secretly cry over it. What can I do short of divorcing my husband to end this misery?
Holy God.
I'm so sick of it. We have another birthday celebration tomorrow night for the 90-year-old grandfather, and she will no doubt be dressed beyond inappropriate. I can't deal with this anymore. There is so much to unpack there, right?
Yeah, and in my mind, there is no way she is dressing the way this crazy woman is described.
It can't nearly be as bad. right? And I love how she sneaks in there, my husband's a diagnosed sex addict.
All right.
Yeah, okay, but it's still the niece.
It's his niece, yeah.
I would hope that his affliction knows some boundaries to know that is taboo. Now,
I was put off a little bit at the very opening of the sentence of she got a boob job and looks great. It's like, is it your niece, you weirdo?
Right. Yes, right. I mean, there are those people that get that kind of work done and do then show it off, and you pay good money, right? Is it like check out my new car?
I think you're obligated.
Do you go, hey, can you tell with these?
Yeah. No, I think if you enhance your breasts, you're obligated to show. You're obligated to hashtag send nudes.
Yes, exactly. And I don't find that wildly inappropriate. Like, no. Even if you're asking family, they're asking it more of not from a check out these bazongas type of way, of more of like, did I get what I pay for? Mm-hmm. Right? Did I make a correct purchase?
I mean, one would assume, without being overly crass, one would assume you get a boob job in order to enhance
and feel better about yourself sometimes.
Cleavage area.
Right, exactly. And so if that were the case, you'd like to show it off. Like you buy a new car, you don't just drive it around humbly. You go, hey, I got a new automobile. Want to check that out?
The way this lady is describing it, the niece is walking around wearing tassels.
Basically, yes.
Is what I'm getting from this.
Right, exactly. That she walks in the restaurant both swinging around and be like, hey, everybody, look at me. It's normal. To your point. And then when she adds then, too, I have large breasts, too. I'm not jealous. It seems like there's some jealousy, which is weird because it's your niece at the end of the day. And then trying to throw the niece's, your sister-in-law under the bus, being like, well, she learned this from her mother, who's also a whore. It basically is what she's intimating here. I think the problem is more on this woman than it is the niece. Don't you?
I'm not even sure now that the husband is a sex addict. I think his wife is just insufferable, and it's like, I got to go look at something more enjoyable than this mess.
I'm not an addict. I just don't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, yes.
Everybody is more interesting than you are.
Men are pigs, and if we see cleavage, we will look.
Yes.
Right. But
in an involuntary way.
Yes, right. And I think
I'm not proud of it, but that's just the way it is.
And I think 99.9% of guys, when they realize it is a member of their family, don't even look, right? With the niece, like it just, you understand that. So I think she's making something on it. If she's surrounded by family, then what the hell do you care? I don't think a majority of the family members now. If other individuals outside the family group in the restaurant are ugly, what the hell is that? Why are you feeling upset by that? Mm-hmm. Right? How is that affecting you? She can wear whatever the hell she wants. To worry about your husband who's a sex addict, I think there's deeper issues here.
I'm going to have to, I would need absolute proof that other people in the restaurant are going, wow, look at that!
Yeah, look at those bazongas over there.
Or there's like catcalling coming out of windows like an old movie or something. Hey, baby!
Right. Yeah, people's eyes are coming out and ooga sound effects are being made when she walks by. So
guy walks up and puts like a $1 bill in her shirt.
Yeah, so here's what Prudie had to say about all of it. She goes, I think the solution is to leave your husband at home for family events. It's not clear whether he's behaving inappropriately or whether seeing your niece is simply triggering to him, but his recovery is his responsibility. Furthermore, it sounds like the person with the problems here is you.
Yes.
I understand you don't agree with your niece's clothes, but you don't have to. It's not your body. You'll free yourself from this torture by releasing your opinions because our opinions rarely change anyone else's actions. If the combination of your niece and your husband is too stressful for you, uninvite your husband and choose a seat away from your niece. Everybody will be fine. A sensible response from Prudie, except for the husband thing is weird. Like, he should know better. But I guess if it's that big of an issue, then yes, leave him at home. But I think Prudie hits on something. There's an issue with this other large-breasted woman, too.
Well, yeah. Or here's what you do to make your point, I guess, if it's that important, is when you're at a family function, is just see if you can throw hors d'oeuvres in her cleavage, just like an olive.
If her cleavage can end up being like a shrimp cocktail. Exactly.
And she doesn't notice because there's no more nerve endings
in there because she's gone a little too large, then yes. Or at the end of the meal, you leave a tip there and kind of, you put see if you can sneak the credit card holder into there to have people grab from there.
Yeah, and so that's the deal. If she looks down and there's an entire charcuterie tray on her chest, then you have the right to go, all right, now do you see my point?
Right. Do you see what's happening now?
You didn't even know that. There's salami there. You didn't even know.
You didn't realize we had an entire thing of brie sitting right there in brie's cleavage.
Don't you realize that you're going to go to a pride event and your shirt is going to burst open? You're going to end up in a subway.
You're going to end up the cops hassling you because you're going to have a serious wardrobe malfunction. Maybe that's what should happen. This woman should share some of her wardrobe with the other woman and be like, hey, to make sure your crotch and boobs aren't out. By the way, doesn't that sound like Farfignugan, like crotch and boobin?
It's a great name for a strip club.
The Crotch and Boob.
I'm going to go down to the Crotch and Boobs.
5-star review from Yelps for the Crotch and Boobs.
Yes.
Their charcuterie is fantastic. You can actually throw the shrimp tails into the cleavage. It's fantastic over there in the Crotch and Boobs.
Welcome to the stage, Sparkles. Lighten up the Crotch and Boobs stage. Give a round of applause for Sparkles.
Yeah, Sparkles. Don't forget the all-you-can-eat buffet there.
Right. We have 2-for-1 drinks here at the Crotch and Boobs.
And don't forget to slice off a piece of the rump roast for all you people who enjoy the I Eat Ass guy in the parking lot.
Bring your own Crotch and Boobs to amateur night on Wednesdays here at the Crotch and Boobs.
Hashtag send nudes. Yes, another fantastic episode. And if you see the I Eat Ass guy, if you're listening locally in Springfield, and you see that individual in his automobile, take Johnny's advice.
Yeah,
Pull up next side and be like, I'm the person.
I'm the one you're
Let's
looking for.
go, and let's see if he actually lives up to his name or not.
Pathetic.
Yeah.